Marshall's, Ross, and Burlington. I went to all three stores hunting for cheapies. One of them under $20, two of them under $15. All blind buys. Are they any good? Let's find out. Rack store fragrance shopping. If you blind buy, you don't know what you're getting. Sometimes you find some great gems. Sometimes you find some garbage. So I took the plunge for you. I took the risk. Opening, Drydown, first impression. I went to my local Marshalls. I thought, let's give American Crew a second chance. So I picked this one up under $15. American Crew Win, 2016 release. The opening is very citrusy, very spicy. It's a better opening than the previous American Crew fragrance that I reviewed. Let's spray this one on skin too. Very citrusy. There's some spices. It seems a little mature. This doesn't smell like a modern fragrance. I'm a little intrigued by this one. Bergamot, mandarin, nutmeg, clove, cinnamon. The spices and the citruses are blending nicely in the opening. There's a little bit of cumin. I'm not a big fan of cumin. Some people get a BO smell when they wear fragrances with cumin. This one, the cumin is not that strong. All the other spices are overpowering it. The cumin is just kind of there in the background. I'm very intrigued. For $13, American Crew for the win? Maybe a surprise. Okay, this next one is just under $15. Perry Ellis Portfolio. And this one in the silver caught my attention. I've been having some really good luck with these portfolio fragrances, and especially the blue, the Elite. That one was a really good barbershop fragrance. You can check out my other videos to hear more about it. But let's focus on this one. Let's find out what this smells like. Ooh, this one is very strong off the opening. It's very fruity. It's very green. The pear is definitely overtaking this. Some greenness, some woods in the background perhaps. It's very fresh, clean. It's very sweet. This seems very unisex. Both men and women could probably pull this one off. Let's spray this one on skin too. This opening is really fruity. I'm not that impressed with this opening compared to the previous Perry Ellis fragrance that I purchased. I'm going to allow this one to settle down and dry down to see what it develops to. The next fragrance was under $20. Guess Man Forever. Now this one intrigued me because I've never seen it before. I believe years ago I had the Guess Man with a green juice inside, and that one was very green, very casual, not really memorable, but years ago it was okay. Maybe Guess is reintroducing it or rebranding it. Maybe it's a flanker. I'm not sure. I didn't see any information on Fragrantica for this one yet, so of course it's a blind buy. Let's smell it. Oh, wow. Yeah, that didn't want to come off. A little stuck. Nice popping sound there. Oh, this is definitely not green Guess Man from years ago that I remember. This is very sweet. It's almost like a bubblegum, like a grape bubblegum flavor. I'm definitely getting a Zara vibe from this one. Something like Soul or Blue Man Spirit, one of those Invictus inspired by fragrances. It doesn't smell exactly like Invictus. It smells very youthful. Like I said, very modern, nothing original since it's borrowing from Invictus. Let's spray this one on skin. You definitely have to wait for the alcohol to settle down a little bit. Don't smell this right away. On skin, it's still retaining that sweetness, that bubblegum type smell. It doesn't smell as much as grape flavored gum on skin like it did on the tester. I think it's doing its own thing, but it's definitely inspired by it. What are you waiting for? Hit that like button and subscribe. You don't want to miss any videos. Okay, let's get to the dry down for American Crew Win. The Drydown is very nice. I can't believe this fragrance is under $15. This one is really developing nicely. I'm really surprised. Ooh, on skin, it smells even better. I get the spices, the citrus all blending in. They're still present, but they've taken a back seat. Now it's warming up a little bit. Some patchouli, amber, but that cinnamon is still present. A little bit of cloves, mandarin, bergamot are definitely in the back seat, but they're still lingering in the background. I think this one is more for a mature, at least late 20s, 30s, very masculine. It's almost like a barbershop fragrance. I am really enjoying this one. I am glad that I picked this one up. American Crew for the win. This is developing really well. Spices, citruses, amber, patchouli, vetiver, all mixed in. This seems like a complex fragrance with a lot of development for such a cheap price. Oh, this is definitely a gem. This is a keeper. Okay, let's get to the Drydown for Perry Ellis portfolio. On tester strip, it's definitely really fruity, a lot of pear. The greenness is still present, but it's a really sweet, clean, unisex, fruity green scent. It's not as strong as the opening. The opening seemed really powerful, like it was going to project. It's still there, but it's not as strong. There might be some lavender, some basil, some greenness. On skin, it is still very sweet. The pear is there. It's very unisex, like I said. Both men and women can wear this comfortably. It's not a masculine scent. If you enjoy pear, you might like this one. If I had to sum up this fragrance, unisex, fruity, sweet pear. It's not a pear note like an Ultramall. This one is more sexy, more attention getting. Some people might call this one unisex too. This is more unisex. It just doesn't seem as memorable. This one definitely, even the red sort of grew on me a little bit. Maybe this one might grow on me, but for right now, it is definitely not the best from these Perry Ellis portfolio fragrances. The blue one is the best one for me, then the black, followed by the red, and this one coming in last. These are just first impressions, so bear that in mind. Let's get to the Drydown for Guess Man Forever. On tester strip, it's still very fruity, but it's warmed up a bit. It's not as intense fruity bubblegum sweetness anymore. It's still present, but it's warmed up. Nutmeg with some suede. Very soft, very warm, almost an amber. On skin, it definitely warmed up. It's a little bit softer. It seems like the sweetness from the bubblegum is still present. It still has that Invictus DNA in the background, but it's more a little spicy nutmeg, a little soft suede mixed in there. Like I said, it's reminding me a bit of the Zara fragrance, Man Blue Spirit, combined with Invictus. So if you combine these two, I think it's borrowing a little bit from both. A little sweet, it's alluring, I would say. Very youthful, very sweet, very modern take on Guess Man Forever. Final thoughts on American Crew Win, the surprise of the bunch, and the pleasant surprise at that, well blended for a fragrance that's under $15 if you want to compare it to $15 fragrances. With that in mind, this is not a boring fragrance for that price. This is definitely a good signature scent for someone who likes barbershop type fragrances that are a little spicy, a little citrusy, a little warm, some amber, vetiver, all mixed in, some patchouli. I'm telling you, nutmeg, cinnamon. This has a little bit of everything. American Crew, well done. This one is, like I said, a keeper. It's not for everyone. It's for someone who's mature and likes those grown-up gentleman type fragrances. This can be worn casual to the office. I would say more fall, spring, evening, daytime casual. This could be just something you grab and go and spray when you want to smell good, not offensive, and not boring. Who is this for? This is for someone who enjoys unisex, clean, fresh fragrances with a lot of pear, some greenness, herbal touches from some basil, and a slight musky, maybe even lavender in the background. Just one of those fragrances that is not for anyone specific, just very generic. Who is this for? If you're looking for a cheap compliment getter that reminds you of Invictus, this is for you, like I said. Have you smelled any of these fragrances? Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Which one do you enjoy? Do you enjoy going to rack stores? What have you experienced with your blind buys? Thanks again for joining me. I'll catch you on the next one. Enjoy your fragrances.